Yeah, you head coach Chris Wilkerson, team coming off a loss against Indiana State this past week. They're home, the Mid-America Classic. They're going to host nationally ranked Illinois State, 4-1 poll, 7 the other on Saturday afternoon. So, coach, some thoughts on your team, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, Kyle, certainly one of the most disappointing performances of my tenure. We started slowly for the second straight week as a football team, and we were unable to maintain control of our emotions as the game progressed. So there's an awful lot of things that we've got to correct. One of the beauties of football is that you get 24 hours either way, and you can't continue to enjoy celebration of victory, and you can't dwell on defeat. So 24 hours and you got to move on. And like you said, we've got a tremendous challenge this week against a very well coached, extremely talented Illinois State football team here at O'Brien on Saturday. So very disappointed with the way that we played on Saturday, and we've got a lot of things to do.
Thanks, coach. We'll go to some questions. Dan's with us. Dan, go ahead with whatever you got.
Morning, Coach.
Good morning.
You've played in a lot of rivalry games. You've coached a lot of rivalry games. Just in general, what is about rivalry games that makes college football special?
Yeah, they're great for the game. They're great for the region. They're great for the fans. They're great for the players and coaches. But the bottom line is you got to prepare yourself properly, and you've got to show up and you've got to execute. You've got to maintain control of your emotions, and you got to out execute your opponents. So again, we were unable to do that last week. And so we've got to go back to the drawing board and make sure that we just prepare ourselves properly and show up on game day and give ourselves a chance to be successful. But the rivalries are awesome. I mean, they're great. It's certainly a great thing for the league to be able to, again, continue to battle with the Missouri Valley for us, second straight week. But every week is an important football game, and this just happens to be the next one. And so we've got to get back to the drawing board about our preparation and make sure that we show up and execute.
Charles Kellum has been a nice early star for you in a lot of ways. Just talk a little bit about his game and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, CK has been very steady for us. He's a guy that has been able to execute at a high level. He has been very productive. He's also been able to maintain control of his emotions. And he's been pretty durable so far. So it's very important for us. Certainly he knew he was going to have a great opportunity to have a massive contribution for us, and he's come in and he's earned it. And I know that he's continuing to work. He's not satisfied. He wants to continue to improve, and I think sky's the limit for him. So really excited about what CK has brought to our program and our football family.
As far as quarterback goes this week, any changes there?
No changes.
You talked about, controlling emotions. So how do you address that this week in practice and meetings and so forth?
Yeah, it's something that, we talk about constantly. And after the first week of the season, I felt like we actually did do a good job maintaining our poise and control of our emotions. And then there were some uncharacteristic things that showed up on Saturday, and some things, to be honest with you, that I was embarrassed about. So I was embarrassed about the way that we played. I was embarrassed about some of the penalties, and embarrassed about the way that we started. So we've got an awful lot of things that we got to correct here in our house before we get back on the field again this Saturday.
I got one more for you. You talked a little bit at the top about Illinois State. What really stands out about them to you?
Oh, they are extremely physical. Coach Spack has been there for a long time. His football team has a definitive identity. They are big and physical on both lines of scrimmage, whether it's tight ends, whether it's outside linebackers, but their interior three guys on defensive front are massive, really strong hands and big physical guys. Their offensive line is massive. They're very well coached. Again, very physical presence. And then again, the skill guys around them are all even better. The wide receivers are a lot faster than anybody thinks, and they get people to load the box and they run right by you. Or if you play them on the top down, they just come back to the football very well. The quarterback is a winner. He can run, he can throw. He's tough as a boot. And then they got the four-headed monster at tailback, in the back end. And on defense, obviously they're led by the All-American middle linebacker in Niekamp, the DC's son. So Brock has been there a long time. He's had some very good football teams, and I would venture to say that this is one of the best teams he's ever coached, and he coached in the national championship game. So we've got our hands full this Saturday.
Thank you as always.
Yeah.
Coach, I don't want to ask sort of what Dan asked earlier, but it's the 113th time you all have played. So I know what you said, it's about yourself, but any time in sports, somebody can play 113 times. It just seems amazing to me in this time.
It is. It is really cool for the alums and the guys that go back, way back to both programs. You always want to know, how did you do against ISU? How did you do against EIU? And I can remember my senior year, one of the pivotal games was certainly a game on the road in Bloomington, in Normal, and at Hancock Stadium. And had we not won that game, my path could have been very different. Coach Spoo may not have continued to coach at Eastern Illinois, and it's a really, really, really important football game for a lot of people associated with both football programs, and it is cool to be part of something that's gone back so far. So it's great for the game, and it's great for the schools, and it's great for the fans, and great for the region. So we just got to make sure that, again, we put our preparation in so that we can show up and try to represent our program properly this Saturday.
And I probably asked you this last year, but everybody wants to take home. There's a national championship trophy, there's a conference trophy, but anytime you can take home, there's a trophy for this game, right? So whoever wins this game is taking home something that both of you want to possess.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it is one of our 4 core goals as a football program, is to try to maintain possession of the Mid-American Classic trophy. We were fortunate enough to grab it in 23, and we had to give it back last fall. So there's an awful lot on the line this Saturday.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you as always. Best of luck against Illinois State, and we'll talk to you again this time next week.
Thanks a million, guys. Go Panthers.